because Dave Coleman's making a move against him as well. As we head down to the first of the big braking areas. And they're 3-4 wide as they go down.
No contact? Nah, looks like it's pretty good so far. Everyone's kept it clean. That's good.
It certainly does look clean like there, yeah. Nah, excellent. The guys have survived the first part, but there's lots of walls and lots of turns. We have a 40-lap race for you tonight, so the drivers will need to pit for fuel. There is no compulsory pit stop for tyres. We'll have to see if these guys think they can get all 40 laps on the same set.
And do we go with the theory of last week like we did with one stop, or do they actually do 2 stops for fuel? Oh, that's in the wall. That was...
Who was it?
Was it?
Oh, Nathan Dorman. They've had some moments. We're going to try and have a look at them. Thanks to DSL Welding Services with this action replay. If they come together.
Moves on. Oh, he's on.
Nathan's got it, yeah. Nathan's locked it up, and then he's driven through him. So that's...
Safety car?
I would think that they'd have to call out the safety car. There are requests for tows coming out there, so I would not be surprised if this is our first safety car of the evening they're using. Maybe it was those bumps we keep talking about, buddy, because the car looked pretty unsettled as it come into the braking area.
I reckon safety car come out, maybe, just looking at some of those. Cars are peeled off, other cars are just weaving, maybe. Yes, I reckon it has, yep, so that has.
We are under yellow flags with the safety car out. So nice and early, we knew that was what was going to happen. Well, sorry, we suspected. I suppose we didn't know, but I mean, just looking at the walk around here, I think.
Big thanks to Pete again for driving the safety car yet again, as he always does.
Yep, our race controller, and does a good job at it. I mean, we always like to think that we can race fair, and look at that, there's a few cars in the pits already that have had to tow. There's like 3 of them there. So who's that? That we have that Stephen Sikovich, Nathan Gore, and Darren Page. I think this might actually happen to Stephen. I thought I saw a white car clip one of the walls. That car looks pretty good. So again, as you said, they're not too far from theirs tonight, so those cars will be back out on track soon, and I'm sure the plan will be to try and get them on the lap. 3 tyres is quite fast, and that didn't happen. And thank you, Peter Morris, for your comment. Okay, so you know, that's good to see. There's no big heads or anything, so it's colours for the supercars. You get to choose your colour, and they try to keep the tyres the same colour, you know, just for the broadcast across probably the many leagues that the fishing boards are involved with. Certainly a pleasure to have them with us. Alright, so it looks like the safety car is leading the first of the drivers that have gone down a lap past, so...
Give them probably most likely be given the wave around, so they'll be able to get lap back. And of course they won't be in the front, but they'll be able to jump on the back of the queue on the same lap, so they'll still be able to get points and positions, which is good.
Well, I've seen the safety car stay that long enough that they could get right back around on the train, but you predicted 2 safety cars, and he's going to stick with that usually. It's first one's come out pretty early, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with 1. Oh, sorry, stay with 2. Sorry, my apologies. I'll stay with 2 safety cars. We already have 1, so I reckon I should be on the money with 2. So already halfway there. I could be wrong. Could go more, or could just say 1. You never know.
You never know. You do never know. I suppose that's the point of watching this live. You get to see all the great action and when it's happening, and then you know, jump in the Discord channel afterwards and have a listen to the boys talk about it. I'm hoping sort of moving forward in the future we're able to bring some of those chats to the broadcast as well. So and try and get all the drivers more involved in the series. So Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome once again to Sim Racing World TV. Tonight, we're pumped to present round 6 of the SRW American Invasion Formula 3 Series. It's Cowie, your average sim racer here, together with Adam Hughesy Hughes on comms and Chef Toddy behind the scenes looking after the cameras on tonight's action. It's a 500-mile journey that has seen the cars and crews crest the hill of this championship to arrive in Daytona, where the draft is king and the walls loom large. Hughesy, looking
There you
forward
go,
to
mate.
a
How
big
are ya?
night. It's going to be a great race here tonight. It'll be interesting to see how these F3s handle the big banked sections of Daytona.
Yeah, mate. It'll be quite the viewing aspect for everyone. I know for a fact that on the start for the Porsches, when we did obviously the banked start, the cars were very much touch and go, and I was one of the few that actually spun it and I think half caused a safety car. So I'm very curious to see
Well,
how these boys tackle it.
I think the same thing happened with the Radicals on Tuesday night, where I think it was David Unger, probably the most experienced guy driving those Radicals. He got it wrong off the line and spun up. So, I think Team SRW and Race Control overheard the cries and tribulations of the masses out there, because they have deemed that it will be a rolling start for tonight's race.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, excellent.
Okay. So yeah, so I believe the cars are limited to they've got 70% fuel capacity this round. So I'd be very surprised if they need more than one stop. Again, it'll be interesting to see if they take tyres or not. It takes 3 or 4 laps for these tyres to come up to temp, and that really makes it hard to do a tyre undercut like you would do in the V8s, the V8 supercars anyway. So yeah, so it should be an interesting night, buddy. Daytona, the home of the big Daytona 500, the most prestigious NASCAR race. Also the opening race of the calendar. We can see there, thanks Chef Toddy for throwing up the track details. You can see it's 28 degrees weather, track temp at 37, so it's a little on the warm side, though it's fairly humid out there, and she's fairly blustery by the looks of it as well. So I wonder how that'll affect these cars.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, mate. I think fuel saving will be another talking point. I would not be surprised if we see maybe a safety car or two here, particularly through the infield side of things.
No, safety car in the F3s, that doesn't happen, buddy.
No, definitely not in the quantities of 4 or 5 at different races. Definitely not, mate. It'd be silly.
They've been a breeding ground for safety cars. I think the promo department needs to get a few more of these drivers on the books, buddy, because it's getting plenty of action.
So. Absolutely. Poor old Peter Baxter's getting a fair old workout with the safety car. That's who I think's driving it tonight. He's getting a fair old workout lately.
I think it might be Lockie, actually. Lachlan Capel is his name's up on the timing there, so I think he's been out for a lap in the safety car. And I think Pete will probably be the voice behind the scenes, and he might be running the show tonight. But so far, it's been really good having 24 Race Control on with us and 24/7. And also, you know, our major sponsor, DSL Welding Services, and the promo department, our safety car sponsor. Always awesome to have those guys with us. All right, so it's pretty interesting. Good to see Corey McFarlane back this week, buddy. He's really showed his pace in these cars, and I suppose with Corey on the grid together with our last round winner, Joseph Daly, and is that Cameron Edwards as well. That's the Centred SimSport trio, buddy. They've already locked it out once at Belle Isle. Can they do it again tonight?
I reckon they will, mate. I reckon qualifying will probably go their way, purely the fact of there's 3 of them. I'm sure they'll utilise the draft on both the straights and obviously take turns piggybacking off each other on different or multiple laps. So I would not be surprised to see that tonight. And yeah, look, I'm tipping they'll work together like they did at Belle Isle, and probably just bring it home. I'm tipping that's what's going to happen, mate. I could be wrong.
Oh. Well, I can see at the moment that Adam Simpson, he has done a 1:44.69, currently sitting in third. So he's sort of splitting up the Centred SimSports boys there a little. Joseph Daly just going to the top of the charts with a 1:42. 4.15, so that's about half a second quicker than Corey at the moment. But I would say we're only 8 minutes into this session, so the boys still, getting these tyres up to scratch and getting the fuel level down a little.
Yeah, mate. Well, practice. I'm sure everyone will just be sandbagging. All the faster guys will probably be sandbagging to a degree and just testing fuel loads. I'm sure they'll be getting used to what the car will feel like, for the start of the race, particularly the first lap. Just with sort of the high demands of what the cars will need to produce tonight with Daytona, because there's slow corners, but there's also very fast high loading corners, particularly at the bus stop. And as we know, bus stop's only a sort of one way in, one way out. You sort of really can't go too wide there. It's only just single file through the whole way. Where we're watching, is it Cameron Edwards or is it?
That was Corey. I think we're looking on board then at the moment.
Just through the bus stop where Corey just went through before. So it's you don't dare to go too well through there because you'll probably end up coming off second best 9 times out of 10.
Well, I think the one good thing about that place is it does provide one of those sort of braking areas. We're going to see that the draft will be king tonight. I think at the F3s last week, the draft was very prominent, and when these cars with a little bit more aero, I think that it's going to punch even bigger a hole and have more of an effect. So you're going to find guys looking to get the job done going into the bus stop, but I think that's the key. You've got to get the pass done before you go in. Don't try and do it halfway through. That's just gonna
definitely not. Yeah, definitely not. You're going to cause issues for yourself if you think you can tempt fate and go, oh, I'll get this done before the entry to the bus stop. But no, you won't. You'll probably end up dying and killing the poor bloke next to you.
I think the thing here that I'm going to be surprised to see is how late these guys are breaking into T1, because I know doing some practice here earlier this week, for the V8 supercars are also at Daytona this Sunday, so we did have the qualifying sessions up, but I think there might be another clash with the Scops round, so we're going to combine the Super 1 and Super 2 cars to still put on a big race with a big field, which would be awesome.
Yeah, mate. Supercars, regardless of what the Scops do, if they run on the same weekend as us, we tend to get really good numbers for the supercars. Just the same, we can't sort of run on an opposite weekend yet. I'm sure that will change in the future, but it's a bit of a shame we can't have everyone show up because I know Scott sort of takes precedence.
Yeah, it does, buddy. Look, I mean, these things happen. There's lots of different leagues out there. SRW trying to find their footing, and if you're interested in coming along and joining the shenanigans here at Sim Racing World TV, will then jump on board our Sim Racing World League. You can go to simracingworld.com.au and follow the links there. We are round 6 of our 10-round championship at the moment. So, and there's generally probably about a 3 or 4 week gap before the next season starts. So stay tuned. We will be announcing when the next season opens for registration, and we'd love to have you on board.
Absolutely, boys and girls. If you've got a chance and you've got a free night, put your name in the hat and have a steer, because more numbers the better.
Well, that's it. And look, I think the caliber of the drivers is just increasing. Though we just watched Joseph Daly go for a little alley-oop or loop-de-loop. And that's just these boys pushing hard and trying to just carry as much speed as they can. This is qualifying. This is where you test the absolute limits of the car. And Joseph has already set a fairly decent banker. So you can see he's just really trying to find another couple of tenths there in T3, the hairpin.
And just to further what you said before, Cow, for the new people that want to join, you've also got Josh from Precision Sim Training that's also offering lessons here and there. If you want to book yourself in and learn how to go faster and what to do and what not to do, like he's always available and ready to help anyone out that needs it.
It's awesome, yeah. So we are doing sort of dedicated driver training for the V8 supercars for those guys, for all our Super 2 drivers. I haven't actually taken advantage of one of those sessions yet, but I've got some teammates that help me as well, so I felt I didn't want to steal anyone's spot there, but I will be keeping an eye out to try and get some of that precision driver training. Just having a look at Nathan Gore here, running in P10 at the moment, just starting to go out on his outlap there. A nice sharp looking livery. They always say red goes fast, and I've got Matt Black is pretty distinctive as well. But yes, getting back to what I was starting to talk about before I got distracted, Husey. No, it wasn't your fault. I think I distracted myself, buddy. Was talking about where these cars are going to break into T1. So I know with the V8 supercar, I'm trying to look for that brake marker. You know, you sort of see the yellow flag on the the yellow flag box, I suppose it is, the light box on the right hand side there, and there's those braking markers on the inside. But I think look at it. I think it took me about 10 laps or so before I started to remember where to brake in the V8. I'm sure these things are going 150 metres deeper.
Oh, 100%, mate, absolutely. I'm sure these guys will be, they'll be A, braking later than a supercar, and B, probably pulling up a lot quicker because they're definitely a lot lighter and have that aero efficiency and aero dominance over a supercar, I guess.
I just wonder how close to those witches' hats they're braking, because that is just stupid. They're already turning into the corner. Sort of the V8, you're almost sort of starting to go on the brake as the car starts to turn into it. But that's the beauty of different categories, buddy. We get to have a look at how some of the other side of the universe drives. I know you're a Porsche man. How does the Porsche do around here, buddy?
Pretty good Thursday. It's it was a little bit sort of hectic coming out of, I believe it's turn 5 or 6, which is the second hairpin you get to. It's very
back straight.
No, just before you go onto the back straight.
Yep.
Just that hairpin, and then 2 corners prior to it on the other hairpin. It was just super seedy coming out of those 2 hairpins, but everywhere else it seemed pretty well hooked up and sort of on rails.
Is that because you had sort of the downforce running about as low as possible, so you could make the most of the big straights? So she was getting
just no downforce, just absolutely nothing but minimal drag. Because you'd rather sort of have the car set up for straight line versus what you would want in the corner speed rather, because there's only really 3 or 4 corners you have to navigate through here. You've got probably 2. It feels like about 4 kilometres of straight line that you have to navigate through here, so you'd rather straight line speed over corner speed, that's for sure.
You see there, Joseph's going pretty deep there. I think he was just offering Nathan a bit of a slingshot there, so maybe a bit of teamwork there, or you help me, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yep, that's the way to do it, mate. Help each other out, because that's how you get the time down. That's how you get closer to the front.
Well, at the moment, Joseph Daly with his 114.15 still has about a 2/10 advantage over Corey McFarlane with a 44.34. Nathan Gore a further 10th back. Adam Simpson a further 10th back. Dean Sinkovich, he is in the 46s at the moment, running in P5, but we can see that those top 4 cars at the moment have basically got about a second on the field at the moment, or the rest of the field.
Who did you pick for qualifying, mate?
Look, I think Corey McFarlane, he's missed a couple of rounds, but since he's joined the series, he sort of has been the benchmark. I think Darren Fahey had a great race last week with a P2 finish, I think it was last week. And Joseph Daly, he has, been on he's race winners at Watkins Glen and at Road Atlanta. Watkins Glen may have a similar sort of feel to this place, but I think Daytona is pretty unique, mate, with those banked turns and a long straight. It's pretty hard to compare it to another place, isn't it? Maybe Charlotte?
Yeah, I'd say Charlotte. Charlotte's, I wouldn't say it's close to it, but say it's not far off, because it's got a similar idea, Charlotte being a lot smaller than what, say, Daytona is, of course, but nonetheless, though, it's still a roval to a degree. Whereas Daytona's more of an official sort of road course, proper racetrack, but it's still an infield layout inside of a oval. So
that's right, and actually, sort of looking up a bit of the history of this place, it was actually the only track other than Indianapolis that was over sort of 1.25 miles long. And Daytona was actually it was the first multi-use facility, so where it incorporated the infield and most of the oval on the road circuit layout. So it was the first of the Rovals, buddy.
Yeah, mate. It's it's a mega track. Enjoy doing the 24-hour of Daytona around here. It's a mega track to race on, regardless if you're doing officials or hosted, or doesn't matter what car it is. It's just an awesome track to drive on. It really is.
Yeah, did one of them myself back with the wheelie bins a couple of years ago. That was awesome fun in the LMP. Very much a different sort of race when there's 3 different classes of cars on track, though. It's
Oh
chaos.
yeah, it gets real busy real quick.
All right, so it looks like
Oh wow.
Corey McFarlane and Cameron Edwards have jumped to P1 and 2, both Send It SimSports boys. The first of our drivers to get under the 144. So Corey with a 143.90 and Cameron with a 143.99. So the teammates there pushing each other.
Yeah, mate. If the help's there, utilise it. That's what you need to do. It's the only way to get ahead with particularly with Daytona, because of the straights, you need to do it.
That's right.
It's almost say probably reminiscent of Watkins Glen to a degree. Like that was probably nowhere near as fast, but most of the corners are all sort of flat out, and you've got a couple of straights that are relatively decent in length. So you'd utilise the slipstream on that as well.
Well, it's going to be another one of those things. I wonder how this is a fixed series tonight, so we won't have any of the guys experimenting with super low wing angles to take advantage of the straights. But it also means that, like in a qualifying session like this, you've got to spend that time to burn it down. And for some reason, I think Toddy, the timing's not coming up at the top of the SDK there, buddy, in the feed. I can see that there is about 20 minutes gone of this session, so we've got about 5 minutes to go. But yeah, it's just not showing on the feed there, buddy. Yes, it is a rolling start tonight, Barb Slider. There's your mate, Husey.
Hey, Barb. Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
Yeah, look, they had decided that. I think there was a big incident with the radicals last week. Poor old Dave Unger lit up the rear tyres and it just stepped out and sent him north into poor old Nathan Verney in the radical. And like you said, there was a bit of concern at the start of the Porsche race last week too, here at Daytona. What happened there, buddy?
With the standing start, you mean, or?
Right, yeah, man, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was the main issue. I think 2 or 3 cars. I think nearly 3 of them spun out, and I think I was one of them. Because the problem with the banking was if you were starting on the outside lane, you're going to spin out and hit the wall if you're going to spin out the start line, and if you're on the inside line, you're going to spin out and hit the bloke on your right. So
yeah.
You had to basically just dump the car down to first gear and just take off that way instead of trying to hold the revs high.
So you're saying that you think it was that you were one of those guys, buddy? You were already trying to forget that race, buddy.
Trying to already forget that race because I was one of those guys that semi-spun. It's pretty embarrassing. I wasn't first. Went from first to 4th by 2 seconds. So it was quite an adventure.
Buddy, look, we all make mistakes. I think I've just about picked up a black flag in just about every race so far from the V8s at the moment, so I've got to clean myself up.
No.
And so, but look, these things happen, but we love coming back and we'll just have another go next week and see how we go, though. I'm not at the pointy end of the championship like you are. You still sitting on top, buddy, in the Porsches?
I think I'm sitting a cool 2nd or 3rd now, I think. Old boy Blake Delaney might have it wrapped up, depending on how the next 3-4 rounds go. Just if he has a bit of an average few results the next few races, that could well and truly put me back up in the hunt. But
drop rounds, is that going to help you? Have you had one too many drop rounds to get rid of?
No, I haven't had any drop rounds. I've turned up to every race, but I think I finished Daytona 7th, and I think I finished Coda, which is Texas. I think I finished 8th or 9th there. So I've had 2 super average rounds, never the round I finished 1st or 2nd in. So
well, there is 2 drop rounds for each of the SRW seasons, so can't count yourself out yet, buddy. We are inside the last 2 minutes of qualifying here for the F3s tonight. And we have Corey McFarlane has bettered his time by a little bit, so has Cameron as well. So Corey McFarlane with a 43.82, Cameron Edwards with a 43.86. So 400
Wow.
of a second separating the two Send It Sim Sports boys. And it's their teammate Joe Daly in P3 at the moment, buddy. So you did say you thought the Send It boys were looking good for a 1-2-3. Well, it looks like they're going to go close to locking out qualifying that way.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, mate. You'd be silly not to take advantage of having 3 cars on the track with you, our teammates that is, and just utilising that pure feature of, hey, we're all together, how about we just smart this out and just draft off each other. So I think they're doing the right thing. I don't think any other team out there or any other cars have 2 or 3. I don't think any other team out there now has 3 cars to their team. So I think Send It Sim Sport's probably the only team out there, I think.
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware.
There might be a couple of the locked on boys. I don't see John Sinkovich out there. Is that Nathan Burney's one of the locked on lads? So they've got those 2 boys. Dean and Stephen Sinkovich, the 2 SRW boys. They're 2 peas in a pod as well. But yes, look, I think when you're looking at fuel saving and running in the pack and taking advantage of the draft, it can't help but be a part of a little 3-man team going on. Allows you to maybe control things a little.
Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. It does definitely make a difference. Plus, if you start in top 3, you can definitely control what the field does and doesn't do, because you've got the 2 behind you to, I suppose, for the better word, to be your wingman.
Darren Fahey there, maybe just coming to the end of his lap there, but finding himself down in 7th position, probably about a second off the pace. I'm just looking at the numbers now. That Darren is, he has been sort of near the point again. He's had a few spots on the podium. Was our P2 runner last week, and I believe he picked up another. Was there a podium earlier that he picked up? Yeah, back in Road 1, round 1 at Road America. So he's been P2 a couple of times. So he might be a little bit disappointed in his qualifying performance there, but it's only step 1 of tonight's event. Qualifying's one thing, but draft is king. So you can certainly take advantage of it, can't you, Husey?
Well, you don't score points in qualifying, mate. It's all in the races where you score the points. So qualifying sort of to a degree means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. It just helps you stay at the front or get to the front quicker. That's all it is. You
Score bragging rights?
Yeah, bragging rights, I suppose. 8 to 9 times out of 10 gives you a free ticket out of the crap that can happen in the first 2 corners.
As long as you don't get big wheel spin, but it's going to be a rolling start tonight, so I don't think we'll have to worry about that.
Nah, just be more keen to see how the boys treat it into the first 2 corners, because rolling start, everyone's gone, yep, I'll get a draft here, and they'll probably try and make a move into the first corner just because of the overspeed effect.
Do you think? Did you think the tyres are on the menu tonight? We'll just have a look at a couple of the moments in qualifying from the boys. You don't think tyres are on the menu at all?
I wouldn't think so, mate.
So you don't think the banked section's going to chew them up a bit more? Well, I think Corey McFarlane said he went for tyres. Was it at Barber Motorsport Park he went for tyres?
Suppose if you like I said, if you start last and your safety car comes out and you're last and everyone else is pitting, then sure, go for new tyres. But I don't really see a point in doing it, because it's not a real it's not a high loading track. It's not like it's say Watkins Glen or Laguna Seca. I could be wrong.
All right.
Could be absolutely wrong.
We'll have to see, buddy. That's what we get to see tonight. One of the things we can talk about. If you've got any comments out there, guys, throw them in on our YouTube and Facebook chats. And, of course, as always, subscribe and give us a like and click that bell notification so you don't miss out on any of the action. All right, here we have the grid for tonight's race round 6 of our Formula 3 American Invasion Series at Daytona International Speedway. We got Corey McFarlane, Send It Sim Sports, Cameron Edwards, Alongside him, so P1 and 2 and P3 is Joe Daly. P4, Nathan Gore, Senate Sim Sports. So that's not just a top 3 lockout, it's a top 4 lockout. Adam Simpson, Fishy Motorsports in P5. Nathan Burney, Locked On Racing P6. Darren Fahey with DJF Racing, I think he said it was. Dean Sinkovich with SRW. John McHenry, Locked On Racing, and one of our SRW admin guys in P9. Stephen Sinkovich, P10. Greg Johnson in P11. And our safety car driver, Lachlan Capel, at the back of the grid there. All right, well, at the front, seeing the safety car started off. Looks like it might be an iRacing rolling start, not a an SRW one, so we don't have the promo department car. But we're getting ready. We'll see the cars fire up and get ready to start round 6 tonight. It's going to be awesome, buddy. Only a small field, 11 cars, but
that's a bit of a shame.
But
we need more people in. Come on, guys that are watching, and guys and girls, come on, join the season, join the series for next season. Come on, put your name in it.
Cameron having a few issues there on the inside, blinking in and out, so I hope that's nothing drastic there with his internet. We've got the lights are on, so the cars will now get going and following the safety car. So a bit interesting. Haven't called a rolling start before, buddy, so it's all about trying to stay as close to the guy in front of you and not hitting the gas smidgen before he does and running up his backside.
It's all about timing, mate. You need to get the timing right. That's all it is.
All right. Well, see the fields sorting themselves out and getting ready for the run here. Round 6. So we are over the crest of the hill of the championship on the downward spiral as this series travels west to east. So they've done the long haul journeys, these cars, and now they get the shorter overnight trips from track to track. But we can see here they're just measuring themselves. Safety car pulling away, just waiting on the green flag, and it will be pedal to the metal.
Areas to see when Corey's going to gun it. I'm wondering if he's going to wait till the very last second or if he's going to go early.
Oh, there we go. Corey's
gone. Corey's gone, yeah, absolutely.
Cameron looks like, I think, is that Joseph Daly trying to get up the inside and Nathan Gore trying to go around the outside. So a bit of action already here at Daytona as the cars go into T1. Or is that Cameron Elds? He's got sideways there. Have they avoided him?
Yeah,
that's going to cost him, but I think he's kept it out of the wall. So I don't think that's going to bring out a safety car, buddy. Yep, he's got going there. Doesn't look like there's any damage on that car. Just lost the rear. Cold tyres. Pushing hard. A bit of pressure from his teammates. So Cameron's got his work ahead here. As Corey McFarlane has skipped ahead. Already 0.7 of a second with his teammate Joseph Daly and Nathan Gore. Nathan Burney. Looks like Nathan's picked up a spot. A couple of spots actually. And Adam Simpson, I think was... Darren Fahey's up 1, but that's as a result of Cameron's. Who's that going down low? Is that Adam Simpson going through on Nathan Burney?
I reckon we won't see the field condensed. Sorry, the field will be condensed, but I want it a bit spread out though. I reckon the drive's going to keep everyone in touch.
The there is that's Adam Simpson that's got up the inside of Nathan Burney there. So had a great run coming out of T7 there onto the back straight leading up to the bus stop chicane. Let's see how brave the guys are early on, trying to minimise those steering inputs. The tyres are still cold. The last thing you want to do is ask the tyres to go side to side very quickly. They don't like that when they're cold.
Oh no, definitely not.
Already we can see how powerful the tow is here. Like the guys are getting the pass done. 3 wide as they come down towards the finish the lap and go into T1. So...
Corey's got a massive gap already. Jesus.
Already 2 seconds, Corey's jumped clear. The action is back behind where we've got a gaggle of 4 or 5 cars there just battling together. Was that a bit wide there from Dean Sinkovich, was it? Yeah, just ran a bit wide there on the outside. He's got Joseph Daly coming hard up behind him. As that Darren Fahey already up a couple of positions now. So we said that we didn't think that the qualifying back at 7 was going to make too much of a difference, and Darren already up a couple of spots and taking advantage.
Good effort, mate. Good effort by Darren. That's a real good effort. I don't think, like I said, I don't think he'll be getting caught per se too quickly because, like I said, he's got the draft effect in front of him. So I think he'll have a bit of protection because he'll be able to get pulled along with him at a higher speed. So I think he'll be safe for quite a while unless he makes a massive error somewhere.
I think similar to what we saw last week, it sort of tends to be battle packs. So you get 2 or 3 cars together, and they do say that 2 cars punch a bigger hole in the air than 1. And we can see here Darren trying to go around the outside of Adam Simpson. Looks like he has got that done going into the bus stop, and he's thrown it sideways, and he's avoided contact. That's some pretty good driving there. I think he was worried that Adam was going to collect him on the way through there, so that's a pretty good save.
Yeah, go on board and just see if we can go above the cockpit. I want to see what his steering wheel movements are, if that's possible. So that would be,
right, so thanks to DSL Welding Services, we'll have a look at a quick replay there and see if he could, how he held that. There we go. So we were on board with the wrong car, I think.
Yeah, we'll put the car in front. Oh,
it was close. It was close.
Good. But Nathan will completely avoid that. Good effort,
that's the thing, yeah. I mean, Nathan's suddenly got to pull that car up and ask it to turn a little bit harder, and when you're at full throttle, that makes it hard too. So here we go. Here, yes, this is where Darren's coming around the outside. We can see here. Let's have a look at how much he has to bite the wheel as he comes out of the bus stop here. Wrong camera. Oh, we missed it. Oh, buddy, we wanted to have a look at his steering hands and we missed that there, buddy, but that's all right. Let's get to the live action and see what's going on.
He's probably had 2 grabs of the wheel, though.
Right.
Poor bloke.
For sure. The rear stepped out there, so he definitely sort of, it was a good save. Good save.
Absolutely. Good save for sure.
So on board with Cameron Edwards, who is in P9, so I think Cameron fell back a little bit then as well, or is he still recovering? I thought he... Oh, is that something's happened with Joe Daly as well? He's gone off track. Let's have a look and see what happened to Joe, because he was running up in P2, I think, at the time. And now we've got Adam Simpson up there. So what's happening here? Is it just cold tyres getting on the gas a little bit too much? Yeah, maybe a hint of the ripper strip throwing him out there. But there's not a lot of cars around him, so if that happened, that's happened after he's had a moment. So he's had another big moment earlier. He entered the pit lane. Oh,
okay.
That was interesting. So maybe he's come up with some damage there, because Joe has gone into the pit lane, and that's what's thrown him all the way back there. So yeah. Oh, is that Nathan Gore has just made a nice move on Adam Simpson. Oh, and Adam Simpson, let's get back to the front there. So P2 is, it's all happening at the moment. We've just seen them sort of both showing that they passed each other. So the battle is right here, buddy.
These are, where is this? This is on to going towards the...
Oh. Yeah, we're coming around P.
Right, this is on the straight, sorry.
Yeah, there's a T12 coming into T1.
I reckon he's tried to sneak down the inside, but it's obviously not worked. Well, has he? Oh, no. Oh, right, okay.
There.
Yes, right, I'm with you now. Yes, sorry. I thought the move was going to get done on the outside. Right.
Well, it was Adam Simpson and Nathan Burney was where it was happening before there, and those boys were passing sort of left, right. Looks like Adam has managed to sort of jump. It was Nathan Gore that was battling with him, and Nathan Gore has had an off track as well. So we can have a look at that, because he was battling hard with Adam Simpson there. That's what I thought. And here. So that's okay. So that's what's happened, and that's where. Oh, geez, he's locked like 2 positions there as Nathan and Dean Sinkovich have gone through on him then. Awesome. Oh, well, let's get back to live action because we are already on lap 5 of 35 of tonight's racing here at SRW TV. Corey McFarlane is 7 seconds out in front. He is doing a 43.9 last lap, and the rest of the guys are in the mid 44s or 45s. So he's showing blistering pace. Adam Simpson running in P2, so he's up 3 positions. Nathan Burney in P3, up 3 positions as well. So that's all as a result of Joe Daly and Cameron Edwards' moments there. Just getting caught out a little bit by cold tyres, you think, Yuzi?
Yeah, I reckon that's what the case is. I reckon. Like I said, I don't think we'll be going for tyres around here, mate. I don't see that happening. If you do, it'd be very interesting. I want to know why, but I don't see it happening.
Darren Fahey is pitted really early. Is 5 laps worth of fuel enough? Is 70% going to get you 30 laps? If you guys know in a TV land out there know, got a bit of inside information, let us know. Put it up in the comments. Maybe Barbslide, you got any ideas? You've been talking to any of the boys? See if you can get out some fuel numbers and we can maybe work it out for ourselves too. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out any of the great action here at SRW TV. Oh, just have a look at John McHenry in the Locked On Lads Sim Racing Machine. He's got a couple of seconds Cameron Edwards in front of him, so it looks like Cameron has been able to break the toe. Though, you can see here it looks like John closing in a little, but he's far enough back there where that toe's really not going to help him much now. We're 6 laps into the race, the tyres should be up to temp now, all settled in, and these guys can start to show us their true pace, Husey.
Yeah, I reckon. Oh, I don't think Corey's going to get harassed by anyone anytime soon. I think he's well and truly checked out old Corey McFarlane, so he's gone. But honestly, from P2 through to probably P8, P9, I reckon it's going to get pretty hot because there's a whole lot of cars. Basically from P2, which is Adam Simpson, down to basically I think Steven Sinkovich, maybe John McHenry. It's just a massive train of cars, so I'd reckon that's going to get pretty heated pretty quickly, and Corey's just going to do his own little thing and probably save as much fuel as he can and as he wants because he's got no one to harass him.
We can see here is that Nathan Gore, Nathan Verney and Dean Sinkovich all fairly close out there on track. Probably just far enough ahead that they're not really getting the draft yet, though that Nathan Verney is 0.9 from Adam Simpson, so he is getting the draft. Looks like Adam had a pretty good bus stop chicane there. Just managed to get a couple of tenths on Nathan. But again, we'll watch the count. They're at 1.1 now, and the draft, I reckon the draft works to about 1.6 out here, so we'll just see if he can close in, Husey. Fairly standard sort of gap there, so maybe that is about the limit in these cars. Yes, so in the draft there, Adam may be picking up a tenth, maybe 2. So the draft does seem to be worth about 3 or 4 tenths. So we'll just keep an eye on the gap. He has brought in another couple of tenths now, so he's slowly making ground on Adam Simpson's. This is our battle on track at the moment. Though it does look like it's getting fairly close between Darren Fahey and Dean Sinkovich also. And Cameron Edwards is only a couple of seconds behind those boys as well. So yeah, look, here's the battle. That Nathan Gore, Darren Fahey and Dean Sinkovich, all of them separated by about a second, the 3 cars. So we can see, is that Darren looking to try and make a little bit of a move up the inside. And the car's shimmied up him and he's caught it.
Oh, Dean had a massive moment, Jesus.
That's just keeping the gas in it and hoping it sticks, I think, and it did that time. You see he's got the draft here. Drivers are under instruction not to pass below the double yellow line. It will be considered an off-track as far as race control is concerned. And any passing below the yellow line will be considered to have to give it back. And if you redress, come up from underneath. Oh, he's got it around. No. He's kept it out of the wall.
Oh, Jesus. That was close, Darren.
Pushing hard, but that is the limit. You can see that possibly a bit of aero wash there at the front of the car, but looked like he lost the rear, so just maybe a bit of gas heavy, gas happiness. Is that the way to explain it?
Yeah, that's close enough. I'll take that.
No, but that I'm sure that Nathan Fernie's happy about that now, because that means that well, it looks like did Dean get caught up in that a little bit, or just fell back? No, Dean was already a few seconds back from Nathan. This is Cameron's had another. Cameron Edwards has had a moment, so let's have a look at that. See what's happened to Cameron thanks to DSL Welding Services. Again, are these guys pushing hard back here? No, there it is there, yeah, but he's caught it and kept the car straight. So, all right, so far these guys have been able to avoid the walls by the looks of it. We haven't seen any destroyed machines or even the Promo Dept safety car, you know, peeking its head out of the pit lane, buddy.
No, not yet. I thought we would have had a safety car come out, but the two major incidents we've had, both drivers have just kept it out of the wall. So kudos to them, because I'm sure that would have forced out a safety car some way, shape, or form. So no, good job by those guys and girls. They've done really well to avoid it.
Well, I think in these machines, buddy, you don't even want to look at a wall, let alone tap them, because you know, the slightest impact and they'll fold up like a pretzel, I think.
You're not wrong.
It's that Nathan Gore looking to go around the outside of Dean Sinkovich, going the high line. This is one of the things I love about Daytona, is that you can actually take multiple lines and get the job done in multiple different ways. So you can see here, there's no draft there, maybe a bit of side draft, but just running a bit higher on the banking and able to maintain that speed around the outside, or cars get close as they come through the last turn and going into T1. Looks like is that Nathan braking deep, but Dean is stuck around the outside. Nathan trying to switch up the inside, but no, Dean's done well there. So Nathan Gore just maybe thinking better of it, or Dean forcing him wide, and you know, car in front's got every entitlement to the corner as long as he's not moving late or under brakes, buddy.
Should be. Oh well. Just trying to think. What happened with What happened again with? Was it Cameron Edwards? Did he he had his moment, didn't he? He didn't.
Well, he had the moment at the start there, buddy. Yeah, so he had a big op at the start and managed to sort of to hold it. That was into T1 where he had that big moment, put the car sideways, but kept it out of the wall. He's now been fighting his way back. Did have another little off track there before that Chef Toddy showed us, but now we can see he's in the draft of Dean Sinkovich. Dean just trying to stay in the draft himself there. This is dangerous because Dean, does he know he's there? I think he does. Because he was looking to maybe pop out himself. But they're going to go 3 wide into the bus stop.
Oh no.
Oh, look at it. And Cameron has just swept around the... Oh, and he's lost the... Oh. Nathan Gore has retained that, and Dean got through there as well. So, Cameron, I thought you were carrying plenty of speed. He swept around there, but just couldn't get it turned back in. Too much load on those left-hand tyres, and the car didn't let him. And look, now Dean Sinkovich looking to make a move here as well. So, is he going to get this done? He's carrying the speed around the outside going into T12 and T1 coming up. So again, it all comes down to how brave you are and how deep you want to brake here. The cars are side by side. Looks like Nathan's covered nicely on the inside. Basically similar to what Dean doing last time, though I think Dean ran a bit wider. And Cameron Edwards, that incident has thrown him back to 8th position now. John Henry and Darren Fay in front of him. And those guys are about 5-6 seconds off this battle. So we've got this battle on track. Like I said, we're going to have a look and see what happened to Cameron here. And he's just carried way too much speed, caught a bit too much curve there. And yeah, pretty lucky actually not to collect one of the other cars there, and he's still alive and still able to keep going. So Corey out front is just loving all of this, and just watching his rivals fall further and further behind. But it also gives us great action, Husey, when we see the fast guys that are normally up front make a little mistake, and then we get to see them battle their way through the pack.
feel bad for Cameron Edwards. He was doing so well up until that point. So I'm guessing we're going to see another charge from poor Cameron very soon, I think, mate.
Well, that's it. Look, and again, it's fine margins, I think, with these cars too, and we've seen round and round again, or in each of the rounds, that it's only a fine little step over that cliff by the tiniest little margin, and these cars are gone.
Well, definitely not I suppose that's a bonus of a F3. The draft is probably a little bit more powerful than, say, a Porsche supercar. The problem is, though, you can't exactly bang doors or sort of bump
see
off
that
each other.
there, Dean maybe losing a bit of the front end there in the aero wash of Nathan's car in front of him, but Dean did well to hang on to that, because that was definitely deciding to try and snake on him. So he's gone a bit deep there. Just maybe try not to lock up, but we are 11 laps into our 35 lap race tonight, and already there's been some great action out there, and the guys are certainly fighting the car at times. Husey, not the easiest thing to drive.
No, definitely not, mate. Yeah, no, we've already. Oh, you know how I feel about them. After a few laps, they go a bit how you going, but it takes a few laps for them to come good, but after that, it's good as gold. But yeah, prior to that, they're not exactly a fun thing to drive, that's for sure.
And also that, knowing how hard you can push and where to push it. For me, again, like the Radical, it becomes a car of confidence, and overconfidence then comes into the equation, where you start trusting the car and you try to ask a little bit more of it. Then the next lap you ask a little bit more of it, until you ask just that little bit too much, and she bites you.
Oh yeah, when she bites, she tends to bite very, very hard.
Awesome. All right, so Adam Simpson, half a second lead on Nathan Verney, this P2 and P3. Corey McFarlane already 14 seconds out in front. So he is just driving supremely, consistently lapping a half a second or more a lap faster than these guys. And, well, considering we're on lap 12 and he's 14 seconds in front, I know he got a bit of a gain there with, was it Joe's, Daly and Cameron Edwards' little moments, because they were behind him a second or two when that happened. The gap has just blown way out, and he's driving away with this already.
Yeah, he's not mucking around. He's thought he would have done the long game and thought, you know what, I've already got a gap, I'll just fuel save. He could be fuel saving now, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong, but he's probably just thought, you know what, don't need a fuel save, I'm checking out. He's probably he's probably one full straight away from the next car. So he's got plenty of time in hand to do whatever he wants. He can take tyres, not that he will, I'm assuming, but he'll probably be fuel saving, just running down the clock, running down the laps.
Verney here getting a run on Adam Simpson, but no, he's just going to sit in behind, I think, and maybe save a bit of fuel. Adam Simpson, I think, is our solely fishy motorsports car out here tonight. So it looks like we're missing Blake Delaney and Michael Whiting and a couple of the boys, which is unfortunate. I know the fishy cars have had a bit of a difficult season this year in the M3s. Michael and Blake have had their share of moments in these cars, buddy.
Yeah, Detroit or Belle comes to mind. They did not have any luck there at all.
Well, they had a massive moment at the start of the race, got caught up, and then the safety car almost brought them back into it until I think they had another moment late in the race. Look, is this a nice move here from, is that Adam Simpson just covering off Nathan Verney there? Oh, is that Adam Simpson has gone into the wall? So I think that was Nathan Verney going around the outside, and oh, that is probably going to call out the safety car too. So, oh, what a moment! So, yeah, and there's race control is on the chat, and the safety car, our first safety car of the night, Husey. We were trying not to jinx the buddy. We didn't have our safety car bet this week so far, but now that she's out, the cat is out of the bag.
It is, mate. It's yeah, I've got a first safety car. I sort of actually was thinking maybe we won't get one, but we've obviously been gifted a safety car by the looks of it.
All right, well, let's try and have a look and see what happened to Adam Simpson there, if we can, Toddy. And thanks again to DSL Welding Services for their sponsorship, and this replay brought to you by them.
Self-inflicted. I see the grass.
Just a curb. Yeah, bit of curb and grass.
No one else involved. Bugger.
Well, he done really well to maintain that speed around the outside there, because Nathan was threatening him up the inside there, and just that tiny little bit of a margin we talk about a bit too much. That's what happened to me at VIR, buddy. Just a tad of a wheel on the grass, and you're just a passenger when that happens.
Yeah, no, when it's grass, mate, you want to make sure you're pretty good at cutting some wood, mate, as in seesawing, because Jesus Christ, as soon as you hit the grass, you're constantly going left and right to try and save it. Sometimes you save it, other times not so much. And
right,
Corey,
so it looks like
the safety car coming for fuel.
No, the front runners have all pitted. Looks like I think we've pretty much got everyone going into the pits at the moment. Yep, does look like all cars so far. Just waiting on Greg Johnson and Joe Daly to see if they go in the pits as well. Adam Simpson has done his tow, but hopefully he will be able to get back out and on the lead lap. But wow, was having such a great run, and apart from Corey, we've seen all of the front runners have their moments tonight. Husey?
Yeah, someone's had something happen to them. Not everyone, but yeah, we've had a few.
Well, we've got Cameron Edwards, Joe Daly, Adam Simpson. So that's three of our front runners.
Sort of hope Adam gets his lap back, eh? Sort of hope for him.
Well, we'll have to see. He's in the pit at the moment. It's showing him as blue, so he maybe has gone a lap down there, and that's going to be tragedy for Adam because he was having such a great race. But yeah, look, Cameron Edwards, he had his moment early on. He's now in P6, but the safety car now brings it all back to level playing field. I think when you make a mistake early at the start of the race, you sort of hope that there might be a safety car to bridge it. I was hoping for one on Sunday in the V8s, buddy, and it didn't happen. That was the first race I'd been a part of where we didn't see one.
Yeah, safety car definitely does.
Alright, so Chef Toddy's got another incident here to show us. So I missed what you said at the start of that, Toddy. So was this the move, was it? So this is this is Dean Sinkovich's moment. That's the one we saw before, or was it another? No, that was another one. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, so that's another one, that's right, because Dean did almost go into the wall with the other one that he saved. Because he managed to keep that out of the wall, and we did comment on that. So it does look to you like the entire field has served their pit stop. So that will mean they should all have enough fuel on board to go to the end of this race, I would think. It would be interesting to see if anyone did manage to take tyres. Again, it doesn't seem to be the smart play. But then again, we've seen what some of the increase of spins and spins and incidents at the end of the race. So we'll have to see if anyone has actually done it. Looking at the pit lane times, it's a bit hard to tell because they range from 44 to 48 seconds by the looks of that. If you're running fuel and then tyres separately like these cars, they don't fill at the same time. So I would say that no one here has taken tyres. Well, Toddy just explaining race control, talking about you probably need fuel at the start of the race, and in his briefing, and that is very true, yes. But all of these guys jumping in on lap 14, that should have given well and truly enough burn, I think, to make sure that they can get home from here. Which looks like it'll be a 20 lap race from here in. We are on lap 15, so coming up near halfway. And it does look like Adam Simpson has managed to get out on the lead lap. He is about a minute and a half behind the pack, so he may not make the back of this train before the safety car goes in. But he's on the lead lap, so he might be hoping for another one before he can get back on board.
So I'm guessing, oh, Adam, yeah, Adam might get lucky here. He hasn't gone, he's not turned blue on the, oh.
Yeah, so he's coming around. He's still got to come around at the start of the race, so he's coming into sort of turn 1 here, and the field is around the back on on the back straight now. So, yeah, so he's about half a lap at least down. 42 about 33 seconds it's saying here behind the rest of the field. So let's go back to the front anyway, because I'm sure the safety car is probably going to be coming in any moment. We'll keep an ear out on the radio to see if race control has given any instructions. So I think he would have started charging away by now, wouldn't he? Yeah. Maybe you are going to get another lap and Adam gets a chance to get right up on the back. Yeah. Well, safety car is still out there. Thanks, Toddy. Just saying
I reckon
that
safety car won't announce it. I reckon won't announce it or go away until after the bus stop.
Well, yeah, that's right. We're still going into the bus stop, but it looks like Adam. All right, yeah, so race control has just advised that the safety car's coming in. Adam Simpson is 24 seconds behind the field, so he might actually have dodged a little bit of a bullet and will get on the back of the pack here, buddy. Or even if not, he'll be at full speed when he hits the back of the pack. 9, 8, 7 seconds. No, he'll have to slow down. He's caught up to him now, buddy. Look at that.
Beautiful. At least his tyres will be nice and hot versus everyone else's.
That's right.
Maybe we could see you back in the F3s, Cowie. That would be good. I'd like to see you in the F3s, mate.
I haven't driven the F3s. I drove the Radicals, and they were quite interesting. I've done a little bit of practice in them. That's about it, I think. I tend to love my V8s, mate, and I'm struggling hard to try and find pace in that car. You throw me into another thing, and it'd just be diabolical, I think.
What about P1 or something? Sorry, P2 rather, my apologies, P2.
Yeah, look, I own quite a few cars here in iRacing, so it's not as if I'm afraid of them, but I just, of the school of thought that it's hard to really focus. And looks like Cameron Edwards going up the inside of Dean Singovich, but Dean has got second thoughts about that, trying to carry more speed around the outside. Cameron is giving him plenty of room there. So definitely, I think Cameron's already used his fast repair, so he wouldn't want to be getting involved in anything. Oh, maybe he hasn't actually, because he kept the car clean. All right, look at these battles, buddy. Back to the front. There's this Nathan Gore, Nathan Verney, and Darren Fahey, 2, 3, and 4, and Corey McFarlane has just jumped already a second out in front, and he's let these boys to fight for the scraps behind him, buddy.
Yeah, he's going to do the same thing again. I think he's going to check out. I'm trying to think what. Oh,
not pace,
probably.
Got puppies.
Probably. What do you reckon would be lap 17, lap 18 would be halfway for the race? You reckon?
Yeah. Well, we're coming up to halfway now, but these guys have already done their pit stop, so it's going to be full track action. We're going 3 wide as we come down to the bus stop.
Oh.
Darren, you're looking for the run up the inside. Has he got that done? He has, with a nice move there. Oh, is that Nathan Gore there going a little wide? May get a slowdown out of that. We'll have to keep an eye on that. See if he has to let out of it. You can see Nathan Verney closing in on Nathan Gore now, but I think he's avoided a slowdown there, man. I thought for sure he'd get one.
I honestly thought the 3 wide would have ended in tears before.
Well, you can see 3 wide here, and it's 2 wide as that Nathan Gore switches around the outside of Darren Fahey, Nathan Verney, and we could see that it was a battle behind. I think that was Joseph Daly that made a move back there as well. So there's a fair bit going on. This is where the action is.
Oh, there's about 2, 4, 6 cars together. That is awesome. That is absolutely Mega. I rate that.
Well, that's
Absolutely
half
rate
our
it.
field tonight, buddy, and they are pushing hard and battling hard, which is exactly what we want to see.
Sorry, Corey. Oh, one just went off. One just went off. I just saw that. One just got
Yeah.
sent off.
Who was that? Joe Daly. Oh, well, he's gone into the fence there. I would not be surprised if that brings the safety car out once again. So what's happened to Joe here? He's
Oh, what happened to Joe?
just, okay, so he's just sort of, the car's done a little fishy on him, and then part of that it skipped out onto the... Nah, he's kept that out of the wall, so we won't be seeing a safety car. I thought he played into the wall then, buddy.
Yeah, I thought he did too. Just how
Let's have a look here. So, looks like, what's he done here? Oh, he's checked. He had to get out of it. Snapping the brake.
Nathan checked up hard. He wasn't expecting it. That's probably what it was. Just sort of got a bit scared, I suppose, is the better word. Not to,
the car's still buddy. The car's still intact, so he managed to save it.
Yep, that's the main thing, mate.
Cameron Edwards now putting pressure on Nathan Burney. There's a four-way battle still up here. I think Dean Sinkovich is not far behind this battle as well. There they go. He's there, room. As Cameron sweeps around all four cars. That's Nathan Burney up on the inside trying to make sure. And Cameron's taken the wide, deep angle. Has he got it done? He has. Oh, that's a cracker of a move.
Jesus. Oh, what's just gone off? Oh, what's just gone off?
Something's happened to Nathan Gore as he's fallen back there. No, he's still in the middle of this battle though. So, what's he done here? Just gone a little bit wide, has he?
What's he done?
Oh, no, he checked out there because he was going to run straight up the back of Darren Fahey, I think. Look at that, he's come back in and held his position on Dean Sinkovich. So, hair-raising stuff.
That was mega close. Jesus.
Alright, so this battle, 5-car battle at the moment. We can see that Cameron just trying to sort of check out and join his teammate out front. So Cameron Edwards finally back to where he was at the start of this race. So he benefited greatly from the safety car and able to reclaim his P2 position on track. And had a couple of moments in between as well, buddy. So he's a big winner.
Dean Sinkovich is absolutely annoying the crap out of Nathan Gore. God, Nathan is just getting a absolute hounding from old Dean. Just won't let him go. He really won't.
He's staying right in the mix of it. Maybe he's found his mojo, Dean Sinkovich. I know he has said he loves the F3s, and maybe he's been. I know his time in the V8 supercar the other night. So, although we've changed to sort of this weekend to run a Super 1 and Super 2 race all combined, and we will be doing qualifying on the Sunday. For the past few rounds, we have been doing pre-qualifying through the week for the supercars. And I know when I was in the Monday session in there, that Dean Sinkovich name appeared near the top of the charts in the V8 supercars. So I think Daytona is a place he quite enjoys driving, buddy.
And it could be his happy hunting ground. Cowie, what do you reckon?
Well, at the moment, he's certainly showing his stuff, running at P4, right in the thick of it. And again, I know as far as a sim racer goes myself, to me, this is what it's all about, getting in the thick of the battles. You know, Corey McFarlane, he's 6 seconds out in front now, running away with the race once again. Maybe we need to see Corey make a little mistake and throw him at the back of this pack and see how he goes fighting through. Because they are not giving an inch at the moment, buddy, are they?
Maybe we give Corey a one-lap handicap, so he has to start 1 lap behind everyone else. What do you reckon?
Maybe a bit of ballast in the car, eh?
Yeah, throw an extra 20 kilo on. Sure, it won't hurt.
See, Faye has a look in the inside there, and that's Nathan Gore looking to go around the outside, but Nathan's had to check out of that as the car was started pointing towards the wall. So they're still pushing these cars pretty hard, mate. We're seeing these little moments, lap after lap, where the guys are really pushing hard and having to, you know, use all their skill. Look at this quick slingshot as Nathan Gore goes flying past Darren Fahey. But now we're going to see the draft come back to assist Darren, as he looks to go around the outside. No, just gets better. Oh no, Nathan Gore has lost it. He's kept it out of the tyres and damage as well, so no safety car. But Nathan, oh, he was pushing the limits of that car, and looks like he found him there, buddy.
Yeah, geez, lucky he didn't get collected or didn't collect anyone else, to be honest. That was very lucky.
That's about the third or fourth one tonight that I looked. It could have gone the other way and taken out the car. Look at that. He's just locked up under brakes, I'd say, or yeah, just lost the rear of the car completely. Maybe moved that bias forward a little bit there, Nathan. You might be a bit too far back. I think in a fixed series like this, probably brake bias is probably the only change you can actually make.
Yeah, I think that's what you can do.
Yeah, you can't affect roll bars or anything like that, or wing adjustments, stuff like that. So, but look at this, Corey McFarlane, 7 seconds out in front. He is just driving by himself, pretty much.
Yeah, he's not mucking around. He's not mucking around. He's just happy to get out there and just get it done.
That's what it. He's just checking out, as you said, buddy. He's already got his plane ticket. He's just got to get to the airport.
Yeah, that's all he needs to do. That's all he needs to do, mate. Just don't hang around. Just get it done. See you later. Oh. Come do your bit. Go home, basically.
Well, Cameron Edwards has just increased his gap to Nathan Verney it's out to 2.1 seconds now, and that's probably far enough that Cameron is now just has got out of the of towing Nathan around the roval parts here, but Nathan will be keen to sort of bridge that gap. If you get within 1.6 seconds, the tow starts to come back into play. We can see that the guys behind him, they're probably still each benefiting from a little bit of that tow, and even though we see it sort of start to stretch out a little, I don't think it'll take long before we're back to a 4 or 5 way battle, buddy.
Yeah, well, what is it? Is it Cameron Edwards? Oh, well, I'm sure Cameron's going to check out. So I'll say third, which is Nathan Verney, back till John McHenry's a pretty good pack of cars. And so is Stephen through to Nathan Gore. I'm tipping Nathan Gore will probably slowly make his way through the pack, I'm guessing.
Even looking at P8 here with Stephen Singovich, and we've got Adam Simpson and Greg Johnson. There's Adam Simpson looking to go up the inside of Stephen, but Stephen drives around the outside, just keeps the foot down, coming into T6 and T7, I think it is here. So again, we'll just have to see. It's all about the exit. Adam's got a nice strong exit there. I'd say that Dean could be fish bait coming down the straight here with that better exit and the toe. I can't see Adam having any trouble getting this done, and it looks like the pass is going to happen well before the bus stop, buddy. Bo, get up alongside, and now Stephen might start to get a bit of that side draft. See it here, but yeah, Adam has just got ahead, and Stephen has thought better of it. Might as well break a little bit early. That battle has been fought and lost. Survived to fight another one.
Yeah, mate. Well, that's what you can do. You just if you can't win it, mate, or you can't win that battle, just try again the next lap, mate. Just re-gather yourself another crack.
There is an incident on lap 21 that is going to get investigated. Is that involving car 159? So that is Nathan Gore. As Nathan Gore has had a big moment, has he? Well, I think it might be just that incident we saw there where he spun out on his own. I don't think... is there... Well, I'm not sure if there was anything in that. It looked like it was a self-spin. I don't think there was any contact, but you never know. Oh, no, there's contact there. Is that Dean Sink? It was that Nathan Gore and Stephen Sinkovich, was it? So that is after. That's a more recent. Had he had another one after that? I thought that was the one because Nathan did have that big moment. Oh, so he's had an off, maybe trying to chase back up. This is where we get a little bit ahead of ourselves. We've cooked the tyres in that spin in that previous incident, and then you try to ask them to work hard again, and they go, no, I'm still too hot. Spin you around like that. So yeah, so that's going to make things difficult for Nathan because he was starting to make a bit of a charge back through the field. I have to see if that's put damage on his car. Same thing with Steven Sinkovic, but Race Control may well have a bit more to say about that matter. Nathan at night could go from bad to a bit worse, buddy. Oh, well, we'll leave it for Race Control to decide. Perhaps a bit of net code, but we'll see. They're the ones looking at all the different angles. 24/7, our race controllers for tonight, and it's great to have them on board for all of our SRW series races. And Lockie in the chair by the sounds of it tonight, and so far hasn't really had to work too hard, but the safety car, he has got a driver that, Husey, so getting back to that, buddy, do you think there'll be another safety car tonight? 12 laps to go?
Hard to say, mate. Hard to say. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go out and say no. I think these guys have shown that, even when you do get the car sideways, if you jump on the brakes, it looks like the brakes are pretty good, you can stop it. So it's only really going to be that snap oversteer at speed that throws you into the wall. Now, the problem with that, it's a banked oval. Snap oversteer is one of those things that tends to happen when you're a bit trigger happy on the throttle around here. So I'm going to say no. Do you think we'll have one, Husey?
Yeah, I reckon we'll have one, mate, for sure. I reckon we'll have tops 2. Just seeing as it's 11 to 12 laps left, I don't think we'll have a third one, so maybe a second one, mate, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, Race Control does try to avoid bringing out a safety car in the last 5 laps of the race. So, yeah, I think 3 is probably out of the cards, but you've thrown your fence on the side of more chaos. Bring in the entropy. I'm trying to play the calm, reserved head and think the trust in the skill of the drivers we've got here tonight. But you're a realist, Husey. I think that's more what it is. Oh, look, there's a moment. Is that Nathan Verney has had a big moment into T1. Looks like again losing the rear, and that's Joseph Daly now taking his spot finally where he qualified. Back up to P3. Here we go. So I think Nathan's done this all himself. He's just gone in and, yeah, just started to rotate the car around and the rear end grip just wasn't there. New positions, but he's not out of it. Though, the Sended Sim Sports boys, man, it's taken 24 laps, but they're back 1, 2, 3, Husey, as you predicted.
Yeah, I didn't think that. Didn't think anyone else would be able to just probably challenge Corey, mate. Probably Nathan and probably who was it? Who else was it?
Adam Simpson was having a belter earlier.
Adam Simpson was probably going to be able to challenge the other 2 boys, but just Corey's just a little bit faster, and he's just checked out, mate. So I think he's going to be pretty much untouchable for the rest of the race unless something bad happens.
Well, you're the one that asked for another safety car, so are you expecting something bad to happen? All right, so Nathan Gore,
see you, mate.
It's been a no further action ruled by Race Control, basically a self-penalising incident. I think more the fact that maybe Stephen got the car going and it didn't cost Steven Sigovic too much there may have given Race Control a bit of lenience in Nathan's position. So no further action there, so he's just got to fight back from P10.
Doable, mate, but it's doable, but 10 or so laps, it's a little bit hard to ask for, but it is somewhat doable, of course.
Well, maybe he might be counting for that safety car as well, buddy, to bunch it back up and give him another shot. Oh, that is the one great thing about the safety car. It takes laps, it generally takes time away from us, but it does bunch it back up and we get great action again as we watch guys battling on semi-cold tyres in a car that doesn't like semi-cold tyres. Oh, see there, the car threw around on Darren and he just got out of it and had a second go. But he's on the charge now. Joseph Daly 4 seconds in front of him. At the moment, it does look like the field has sort of spread out in places. Could we have a look at the interval between the guys, if possible, please, Chef Toddy. And we're looking at the gap, but there's the interval. So yeah, so we're looking at sort of probably this battle between Darren and Nathan is our closest on track at the moment. And we'll have to see if Nathan's fallen a couple of seconds back. Well, he has had pace, so we'll have to see if Nathan can bring it back up and chase these guys down. We are inside the last 10 laps, 9 to go, and it's just a little bit of a lull before the rush at the end, do you think, Yuzi?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I reckon, excuse me, I reckon everyone's probably going to be good to the end on fuel. With me just saying that, of course, Joe Daly just comes in the pits as well, so...
oh, no. Okay, so...
Maybe they're not good on fuel, maybe everyone else has to pit.
Not. Oh, that would put another little spanner in the works.
Yeah, it would.
That we were not aware of, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. We were hoping that one of you guys out there in SRW TV land might have had the dirt on the fuel numbers for these cars, but that's all right. We still love having you with us, so make sure you jump on board and subscribe and tick that notification bell so you don't miss any of the action. We are at round 6 of our F3 American Invasion Series. 4 rounds to go, and it's only hotting up.
I don't think what the next track is for F3, is it? It's not Barber, is it? No, it's not Barber. It's geez, what is it?
It'd be Watkins Glen, I think, maybe. No,
they've already been to Watkins Glen.
Oh, hang on, I can tell you in a moment. It would be Sebring. So for the bouncing of some Sebring.
That's right. Then it's Motorsport.
Well, that is going to be a teeth rattling. Maybe we'll. I know that when we Todd and I were calling the radicals there, we started making all comments on the F1 porpoising, and that's what it might have been like at Sebring. But you've got an asphalt and concrete mix of air strip runways out there, and it tends to make for a bumpy ride. So I think these cars are maybe set fairly stiff. We'll have to see. But look, Joseph Daly trying to get back into contention here, putting the pressure on Steven Singham. He's going to go down to the inside, coming down into the last turn, T12, and looks like he's got that job done fairly easily here. And yeah, Stephen had a little bit of a look up the inside, but he's got a better run, a tighter run, as Joe ran a bit wide there, but he has got the pass done, and that brings Joseph Daly back up into P7. Recovering after his big moment. He's been up the front of the grid a couple of times now, Joe's qualified up there, then had his moment. He's fought his way back up there and had another one, but he's not giving up yet. Probably enjoying the racing that he's had to do tonight, mate. Yeah,
mate. It's I'm really wrapped for Steven Sinkovich, and of course, mate. Particularly Dean sitting P5. Well, hopefully Adam. I hope for Dean's sake that Adam doesn't catch Dean, but also want him to catch Dean, because he'll make for another good battle.
Well, I know it's still looking like it's about a 2-second gap between Aaron Fahey and Nathan Verney. It's a further 5 seconds back to Dean Sinkovich. Adam Simpson closing the gap about 3.5 seconds behind him. And Joe Daly's got about 5 to make up. So there's only 7 laps left. So we'll have to see if these boys can put the hammer down. At the moment, looking at the timesheets across the board, Corey McFarlane, a 43.3 has been his best lap. Did a 43.6 last lap. And Cameron Edwards is into the 44s, along with Adam Simpson and Joe Daly. And the rest of the guys doing 45s and 46s. So, yeah, when there's only a second or so separating a lot of these cars, you've only got 7 laps left. You're going to have to start making your move pretty soon.
Yeah, you're going to have to, mate. I suppose it doesn't help now that,
I think.
First and second is locked because Cameron has just completely checked out from Darren Fahey.
Well, we've
He's
just had Adam
completely checked out.
Simpson. Adam Simpson has made a move on Dean Sinkovich, so we've missed that. Can we have a
we did
quick look
too.
at that, please? Looks like Dean's had a crash. So, what's happened there to Dean Sinkovich? We're talking it up, buddy. You're having a great race. He's just
Sorry,
going to
Dean.
turn in,
Oh,
and he's just rotated the rear of the car. Just asking it to do that tiny little bit too much, and then he's had to wait
Dean.
for Adam to go through. So there you go. Look, I think you've got it right there, Toddy. Just a comment saying that, you know, that it's the first time Dean's made a mistake there, and it seems to be a popular place for everyone's mistakes there tonight. And I suppose we could agree. Corey McFarlane, Corey has pitted on lap 28. So that is going to be interesting. Is fuel an issue? Did you have to save some? Maybe Corey having to pit again because he was out front there and couldn't save any fuel. So it's going to be interesting to see if Cameron Edwards is saving or if he has enough to run to the end. So very interesting indeed.
I reckon Corey.
Oh, that's one of those things I'd love to see, those fuel numbers, because, you know, is it a two-stopper tonight? We don't know. There's been a couple of guys that have done it now.
Well, the Porsches are two stops. Well, sorry, tell a lie. Everyone except for two Fishy Boys in Porsches made it a one stop, but well, Fishy Boys made it one stop. Everyone else had to do two stops, so it could well truly go for two stops. I think, mate. There's
might be on that margin.
Chance.
Yeah, on that margin
so.
where if you get some nice running in a tow, you might pinched enough to get by, but to keep an eye here. But Corey is on the hunt. Cameron, when he come out of the pits, the gap was 10 seconds. It's already 9 seconds now, so Corey is charging hard. Perhaps Cameron having to save fuel. This could bring in a nice little bit of spice at the end of this race, just to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, buddy.
Well, I thought Corey would have been saving fuel. I'm a bit surprised he's come in the pits. I thought he would have done what Blake Delaney and Michael Whiting did on Thursday last week. They just backed off the pace. Were probably lapping 1 to 2 seconds up slower and just really backed it off so they could save fuel. So he's obviously gone hard out and just come in, splash and dash, and out he goes.
Yeah, possible.
And
he has already got that
tyres. Definitely wouldn't be taking tyres.
Well, he's got that gap down to 8.5 seconds now, but there is only 5 laps to go, so we're just going to have to keep an eye on his lap time next lap and keep an eye on Cameron's times. Because Cameron did a 44.9 last lap, so that doesn't really look like he was fuel saving. The rest of the field are sort of a mix of 45s to 46s, though is that Joe Daly did a 44.6 last lap, so he's charging hard again. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it, but so far, Corey may be just running those numbers a little tight or pushing a little bit too hard. Oh, John McHenry's had a moment. Oh, what's happened to the team SR? Oh, sorry, he's locked on Lads Racing, John McHenry. Thanks again to DSL Welding Services for the action replay.
Oh, what's J-Mac done?
He's just rotated the rear of the car. Yeah, just on the gas a little bit hard.
Carrying too much speed, quite possibly.
Oh, you just don't know when you're powering out of a corner like that. You just can't feel when the car's going to do that to you. So Steven Sinkovich has had a moment as well. Thanks, Toddy. We'll have a look at that too and see what mischief Steven has gotten into. Looks like it might be the same section here, just getting on the gas and the rear of the car, looping around. And being a fixed setup, it could be a characteristic of the setup. When you start to see everyone in the field have moments like that. But But those cars, you know, it's the spot where you're coming off the flat and you're going onto the bank section, so it's always going to be a tricky transition area. And we've seen how sensitive these things can be to the gas pedal and
Yeah,
or the load pedal.
particularly low loading corners, they get very touchy-feely on the throttle, mate, as we already know.
Right, so we're on board with Joseph Daly. He's closing the gap on Dean Sinkovich. It is inside 2 seconds now. Just having a look at those times I was talking about. Cameron Edwards with a 45.1 last lap. Corey McFarlane with a 43.5. So another 1.5 seconds. So it's going to be tight, mate. He's got the gap down to 5.5. As Joseph Daly here, trying to get his gap to Dean Sinkovich. Under 2 seconds now, so could have another battle going on here in a lap or two, buddy.
Yeah, I reckon we will, mate. Where's Joe Delaney? So he's in
Daly running in 7th, Dean's in D6.
Oh,
he's held.
Oh, that's going to be a slowdown. I reckon that's going to be a slowdown, I reckon. He just cut the grass a bit too much.
Well, maybe not.
No, maybe not.
Doesn't look to be getting out of it, does he?
Nah, he's getting his foot into it, so maybe not.
Yeah, and the gap is down to 1.3, so he's now inside the toe of Dean Sinkovich. So Joe's going to be setting himself up for maybe a run down the back straight or this front straight on the next lap. He's running out of time. 3 laps remaining, or 4 laps remaining, I should say. Got to remember to look out for the white flag, Husey, because I called the race finish last week again on the white flag, not the checker. Oh, yeah. Nathan Burney, something's happened to Nathan. He's had a big off, and he's fallen back into the clutches of Dean Sinkovich now too as a result of that. So what's happening? He's just coming into the bus stop.
Just coming in too hot.
Oh, no, that's into turn 1, yeah, and that's T1 again. He's rotated the car around there. So again, Corey McFarlane took a further 1.8 out of Cameron Edwards that lap. So he's got the gap down to under 5 seconds. So, but Joseph Daly here is now right on the tail of Dean Sinkovich, inside a second, and he will be inside the toe here on the back as they come up towards bus stop chicane. And Joe had time in his run perfectly. Though it looks like Dean got a pretty good exit there. Joe hasn't been able to close up on this section. Maybe a 10th. Nathan Burney closing in on Adam Simpson's ahead of this pair as well. And that battle is closing right up as well. There we go. So Joseph Daly right in the toe now. He's going to try and go around the outside. Dean holding that inside line. We've seen here that the Brave are able to stick it around the outside, but it's a fine line between sticking it and losing that rear end. And it looks like Dean has just slotted in the back to maybe benefit from a bit of tow or a bit of fuel saving. I can't hear anyone really getting out of it or clutching it out there, Husey, so...
Yeah. Maybe your thing was just gone out the window for this race, because I know the Porsches will just... Everyone was fuel saving like bloody no tomorrow, but obviously that idea is obviously incognito for this round, for this race.
Well, maybe those 3 laps of the safety car were enough to get the guys home. So... Oh,
yeah, possibly. 3, yeah, that could be the case. I wouldn't doubt that for a second.
Cameron Edwards out front at the moment. It does not sound like he's not fuel saving there. Not that that's a section you would do it. You'd be doing it coming into the braking area. But it doesn't look like he's not modulating the gas, but we'll stay on board and we might have a look at him into turn 1 here. See if we can hear anything. He's going into the pit lane, so there you go. Oh, so Cameron needs a splash and dash as well. So that is going to be interesting to see if any of the guys running further back can make the one stopper work. But 2 laps to go and he's had to pit.
Is this going to be quite literally just a splash and dash?
I would seem to think so. Darren Fahey
Yep.
This is going to be close. This is going to be close. Darren is now crossing over the line. I think Darren's going to get it done around the outside.
He's going to get done because the pit exit doesn't end until blue cones, which are right there. Sorry, green cones, which are right there.
Yep, he's got it done. Darren Fahey has jumped in front of his teammate Cameron Edwards. So it is still Ascended Sim Sports top 3. Is it Nathan Gore, the other Ascended Sim Sports car out there, I think?
Yeah, he's down in P7 behind Dane still.
Yeah, and look, Nathan Verney and Dean Sinkovich and Joe Daly are all battling close together out there on track. So that's P5, the battle. If we can move forward a little bit, buddy, because there is a battle for P5. Nathan Verney, Dean Sinkovich, and Nathan Gore. Nathan Gore's fallen further back. Sorry, it was 4, 5, and 6. There's Joe Daly in 4. Is it Nathan Verney close behind him? There we go. And Dean Sinkovich. So, yeah. So here's where the battle is, though we are coming on to getting up near our penultimate lap. I think we're on the penultimate lap. So
yeah, I reckon
34 of 35.
Be waving it now.
Alright, so Corey McFarlane has crossed the line to start the final lap of tonight's race. The action is here. He is 21 seconds in front, so in the end, Cameron, his teammate, had to pit as well. Oh, Dylan Fay's got to come in as well. So some of these boys maybe not working out that they needed to say, but that has, we said it might shuffle things up, buddy, and it has.
Oh wow, that's made Joe Daly is in third now then. And Nathan's in fourth. Yeah. There we go.
That's right.
Oh wow.
There's Joe Daly's the other Ascended Sim Sports car with Nathan Ball. Dean Sinkovich has gone into the pits. Oh no, Nathan has had a moment. He's got about 11-second buffer to Darren, so he's got away with that. But that might have brought any chance he had to chase down the Ascended Sim Sports boys that are running 1, 2, and 3. Let's jump to the front because Corey Edwards will be coming across the line. Our round 6 winner. I know, going through the bus stop chicane now, so he's almost there. Last section, he's navigated that fine, and he's coming around the last section here. And Corey McFarlane looks like Ascended Sim Sports back to the front. He has been a machine since he's joined this series. And another victory for Corey McFarlane, our round 6 winner here at Daytona International Speedway. And look at that, crossing the line with a 20-second gap.
Amazing. Just yeah, he's gonna do. Yeah, absolutely. That's the only word you can describe. It's just purely dominating. If he doesn't win the series, which I think he will, if he does, I'll be very, very gobsmacked if he doesn't.
Yeah, well, we need him to have a poor qualifying performance and maybe get caught up in one of those moments and watch him fight through the field. But I think that he has shown supreme car skills in these. Everyone's had moments, even Corey's had moments, but he seems to be able to catch them. Alright, so Cameron Edwards has finished in P2, Joseph Daly P3, so Ascended Sim Sports 1, 2, 3. Nathan Verney locked on Lads Racing in 4th position. Darren Fahey having to pit there right at the end of a P5 finish. Dean Sinkovich and Nathan Gore are still battling. And looks like Dean has crossed in P6, Nathan P7.
I reckon Nathan ran out of fuel, I reckon, because... Oh, so is Steve.
Oh, no. Stephen crawling over the line as he held on. No. John McHenry has snapped Stephen up the line.
Stephen, what are you doing?
Well, that is hilarious because that, we were talking fuel numbers we didn't know, Husey, and it all come to a head with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? I didn't think it'd go that way, but it honestly has. So I'd even go as far as saying that I'd put Cameron Edwards as the driver of the day, mate. if you feel that way inclined as well.
Well, he had a big moment at the start there, and has recovered well. I think both of those Joe and Cameron, I think, both benefited from the safety car there that gave them a chance to get back, because they were a long way back there. Alright, I'm just going to get the guys down into the green room. And if you want to read out the results for tonight's race, round 6 of our F3 American Invasion Series.
Yeah, mate, we have Corey McFarlane in a modest first place, mate, with an easy 20-second lead. But from himself and to his teammate Cameron Edwards, who finished second. Then we also have Joe Daly, Nathan Verney, Darren Fahey, Dean Sinkovich, Nathan Gore, Adam Simpson, Greg Johnston, John McHenry, Stephen Sinkovich, and of course Lockie Capel was the safety car operator today.
Right, well, I only just put out my message. It looked like Toddy's been working hard behind the scenes, or the boys are just keen to have a chat with us. So we have got Cameron, Corey, and Joseph all in the room here. Ascended 1, 2, 3, boys. Happy with that?
I reckon so, yeah.
A couple of us made it a bit more difficult than it needed to be, but we got it done.
100%.
So the cars, well, they're a bit of a handful in that sort of transition when you start to go up on the bank section. We can see that the rear of the car stepping out on a few of the guys tonight.
Basically, anywhere where the car was turning, it was a handful.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
definitely.
Corey, out in front, you didn't seem to have any trouble with that, buddy. You just drove away with it and watched all the carnage in your mirrors, buddy.
Definitely didn't seem that way. From my view, it was bloody hard to drive, and yeah, it just did seem anytime you were doing anything apart from being full throttle on the straights, it wanted to kill you, so definitely wasn't easy.
Okay, well, so perhaps a twitchy setup tonight for you boys. Well, will say that it did give us plenty of action out there, and the draft was always going to be the key, but the fuel numbers. Corey, we saw you pitted. Was there the chatter that Cam had enough to get home? But you had to dart in with a lap to go, Cameron.
Yeah, look, I usually just go right to the end with the fuel tank, and I felt more comfortable with a lighter fuel load. And yeah, I did give Corey a pre-heads up that yes, I do have to pit, and no, you don't need to push. It's all good, because yeah, like we didn't want to bin anything. So yeah, look, yeah, I came in with like 2 laps to go. I saw Darren stayed out, and I thought, oh, you're kidding me. He's been able to do, something magical with some fuel saving. And I panicked before we got onto the last lap there, because I was like, if he's still going to keep going, like, oh boy, this is going to be a fight for P2. But yeah, he pulled into the pits, and I think all the boys heard me breathe pretty heavily after that point. So yeah, it was tight though.
Okay, so was the issue that you had to sort of one stop wasn't going to give you enough to get fuel in, or was it more you took advantage of that safety car on lap 14 or whatever, and that was as much fuel as you could put in the car?
Yeah, we were never going to get home after that safety car, so we just had to take, I think it was 5 or 6 litres at the last stop.
Yep. So just
was it worth even attempting to save that 6 litres?
Nah, they only burn about 1.2, 1.3 a lap, something like that. So to save that on a track where you're 100% throttle like 80% of the time, almost impossible.
Oh, fair enough. So yeah, well, it's interesting to know. We would have liked to have had the numbers. I know Husey and I, we were speculating, and when we started to see you guys darting at the end there, we thought it was all on for young and old.
It was getting a little bit intense for my liking. So yeah, it was.
So what happened at the start there, Cameron? You just got the car sideways into T1 or T2, wasn't it? And
yeah,
you just went around, but you've kept it out of the wall, buddy.
Only just, but yep. No, that was just trying to give everyone space and cold tyres. That's all I can put that down to. So yeah, I made it extremely difficult for myself. I got some damage a little bit later on trying to go through the field. Almost took Nathan out, who's our other teammate, and that was not fun and not good. So that safety car that actually came out saved me, because I was able to get a fast repair. But yeah, made it for an interesting 4 wide battle on the good old main straight going into turn 1, which was scary. And yeah, I survived it, and I just kept going. So, yeah.
Well, it was a smallish field tonight, 11 cars out on their track, but as you said, when you're going 4 wide, it would have been fairly exciting. I know you were sort of battling at the back there, Joe. You had the sort of couple of good battles with some of the back markers before they got out of your way at the end there, man.
Yeah, look, it was a lot of hard work. I made it very difficult for myself, so I'm glad to be on the podium. It's good for the point score because I think after drop rounds I'm probably in first at the moment. So yeah, good to get it done, and join the boys on there as well. Corey was a class above yet again. Would have been nice if I could have stayed in his toe and not killed myself on a witch's hat on lap 1. But yeah, it is what it is.
Are you enjoying racing these, Corey? So far, you've only had your teammates sort of throwing the gauntlet down to you, buddy, but you've sort of fought them all off so far. We do hope you're enjoying yourself here, but you have shown supreme pace, buddy. Are these a fun fan car of yours?
Yeah, definitely enjoy coming and racing the car, and I mean, anytime that I hop on with all these boys in Discord and just have a chat for the night and do some racing as well. It's always good fun, no matter what you're driving.
Well, I mean, look, that's I'm not fast enough to compete at the front with you boys, so for me it's all about the battle. So that's what I love about it. But who wants to tell us all about the sponsors and support for Standard Swim Sports out there? One of you boys want to take it away? I don't think we'll get you to say it 3 times, seeing 3 of them finished up here.
I'll pick it up for the boys. Big thanks to all of our Send It Sim Sports lads, as well as Hobbs Trenching and Boring, Precision Performance Shop, ProServe Finance, Sydney Computers, AJ Insurance Services, Transform Media, Pixel Blocks, CD Cinematography, and 27 Designs.
Awesome. Yuzi, you got any questions for the boys, buddy? I mean, you were as locked onto the action as I was there tonight.
No, mate, I think I'm pretty good. I'm sort of just had the same questions as what you did for the fuel part of it, if anything. So it sort of had my question answered anyway.
Oh, awesome, mate. Well, it is awesome to have the Send It Sim Sports boys with us this season. They are taking charge of our F3 American invasion here at SRW TV, but we love having them on board. So that will wrap up our coverage of tonight's round 6 of the Formula 3 Series American Invasion here on Sim Racing World TV. As always, don't forget to hit the like button and follow out there on our social media pages. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we go live next. But on behalf of our management team and broadcast team here at SRW, Yuzi on comms and our producer Chef Toddy behind the scenes, this is Cowie, your average sim racer, signing off, saying good night, and we look forward to seeing you next time on SRW TV.
Much of legends, keep safe.